That's not working like that. You would need to break the layout, and then do the rearrangement, and then engage the layout if you know how this should look like. So that is always the workflow, and yeah, okay, that might be nice or not, and the grid can also not be locked and so on. So some side effects are still here. I will not go through all of that. What is of course more important is that I show you how this works during runtime. And this, of course, works together with add symbol. How is add symbol working? Here in this area, we have a grid. By the way, when you play around with layout management, one side condition is in a layout container, you always must at least have one object inside. And even if the object is invisible, one object must be there, otherwise the layout implodes to 0 pixel. That is then, of course, not there. So it's then difficult to see, to be honest. So one object must be inside, and sometimes it is better when you have 2 objects inside, but anyway. So that's just a placeholder here in my case, that you can see that this here, is the grid, the right layout grid. Actually, this one. This is the grid. Okay. So what happens with add symbol during runtime? With add symbol, you can have now the column and row given to add a symbol to a certain layout, not exclusively to the grid. You can also add it to a horizontal or vertical layout. That's not the problem. Then only one of the 2 properties, column or rows, should be used. It's clear. The horizontal has columns. The vertical has rows. And the grid has both. Here we go. And you can also use a row span. So how many columns or rows it shall span the object. Okay, let's test this. During runtime, I'm now adding symbols with these numbers of columns and rows to the grid. Okay. I also do one in, no, not row, in column 1. Here's the other symbol. Now let's go to the second row and let's do a column span. Let's see how that looks like. It looks like that. Can I maybe do another object here in the next column? So that would be column 2, row 0, and I use span 2. What happens here? Okay, another object. So those objects are now just using all the same size policy, preferred in both dimensions. I only want to show you how this add symbol is working during runtime. And of course, I can also show you what happens when an object is set to invisible, because then simply the other object will consume the space. Visible, okay, the other object must make some room for that, okay, invisible, okay, the other object consumed. That's about layout management. And that means you can do nice dynamic user interface screens where you add with add symbol in a certain column different types of objects, these additional attributes or so, what the operator can edit or not, and you have some checkboxes on the panel where you just enable to see this or this kind or that kind. And then with set visible or invisible, you just show more or less, and the other objects automatically consume the space and so on, and it will be rearranged a little bit different. That could look very cool in dynamic user interface. One feature I want to mention, in the grid, we have not limited the functionality like in the other layouts that objects cannot be placed upon each other. In the grid, this is possible. In the horizontal or vertical layout group, not. The objects are always aside from each other or below each other. They can never be placed upon each other. But in the grid, yes. For instance, I go to column 1, so here, and I put an object here over ref 1 and half of ref 2. How shall I do that? Yeah, row span 2, column span 1 in this column here. It's simple, you see? It is placed upon the other object. Yeah? I can make this invisible or visible. Ref 1 is still there, ref 2 is still there, yeah? As you can see. Here, that is working with grid during runtime. Yeah, there is also a control function where the layout can be disabled temporarily and enabled again. I'm not sure if this is helpful. I just want to introduce you that this is possible. Okay? And that is a very simple function call, of course. It is a property of the panel. The panel layout enabled method is called with true or false, and that's it. If you wonder what is self, yes, it's new, I will explain later. Together with the object-oriented panels, we will need self to address objects, so full reference panels. Okay. One additional information for layouts. When you work with layouts in the way, let me demonstrate, that you have a layouted panel. It's a small reference, but it has layout management. Okay, bigger, smaller, okay. Just 2 rectangles and 1 text element. And these are used here. Okay. I have used now multiple of those in horizontal layout containers, and I show you here on this panel, I show you 2 features. And I show you the first feature that when you use a layouted panel inside another layout, the layout object will be inherited in a way that you see, those 2 objects here, this one, the text, and that one, they are both set to size policy preferred, so they will share the available space equally. You can see that. Both the text and this gets the same size. Okay? But internally, the rectangles are fixed and this is expanding. So what shall happen with the excessive space? Or also here on top you can see what happens when you shrink it. The expanding will shrink first and the fixed rectangle of course not. Okay? Yeah, that's of course the inheritance of layouts, what you use inside each other. Okay? So that's also an extension to the previous layout capabilities. And you see here the frame. This is also a very nice feature. When you work with layouts, I showed you before that you have an object, another object, and in between okay, I can put that in a layout group. Perfect, okay. But sometimes that is not what you want. Why not? Because maybe, and I told you it's not possible to have objects on top of each other, with one exception. You could have a rectangle. Of course, this should be the background. And to make it more clear, I use a different color. And this rectangle serves as the layout container. How do you do that? You just draw a rectangle what is encircling all the objects you want to include in this layout, and you tell the rectangle, I select nothing else, just the rectangle, okay? And you tell it, okay, you are a horizontal layout. That's it. Now the rectangle is the layout container. You can see this here. The rectangle is the layout container for the objects inside. That's a cool feature because then, okay, of course it's working here. Because then you can have more nice designs, okay, to a certain extent. And okay, a second thing I want to show you is naturally the same is true for the frame. Yeah? When you have a bigger picture and you want to have, okay, this all belongs to my object whatsoever, a frame can as well be a layout container. Yeah? In the very same way as the rectangle can. Yeah? So here we go. You see, very nice. Yeah? This is my frame, and that's my object, but the object has layout management. Okay? So now there is a lot of new functionality to the layout management so that you can effectively use it on panels. If there is still some things what come to your mind where we need to improve, yeah, just open a trouble ticket and drop us some of your thoughts. Yeah, and you say, okay, it's all nice, but here is a problem, or there we need some improvement, or whatsoever. Yeah, we are open for suggestions because we have already a rather long wish list. Yeah, okay. But if you know more customers are requesting the same things, then it gets more likely that it will actually be considered for the next version. Okay? Good. Do you have any questions to the layout management? Not yet? Okay. Or yes? Yeah? Okay. If not, then I would show you what we introduced with the layout management. You might, of course, already found that by installing the new version. When you go to the system management, then you see that the system management is now reacting on the resize event. In what way? It rearranges the icons. Okay, but how is this done? Yeah, that is some control script what is done on the resize, yeah, of the panel. And with add symbol, yeah, when you open the system management panel, then you will see it's an empty grid, yeah, with just one invisible object inside that it doesn't collapse to 0 pixel. Yeah. That's it. It has nothing inside in the beginning. And with add symbol, we add the thing to the grid depending on the size of the panel itself. Yeah, we add it in 1, 2, or 3 rows. That's it what we do. Yeah? So, well, yeah, that's a way of responsive design. And we now ship layouted panel topology templates. When I run the desktop user interface like before, but I run it with, you see, not the template one, what is old. You see that the tree and the menu, that's the newer versions of our panel topology templates, are now available in a responsive version. Okay, it's not very responsive, it's just layouted, yeah? But anyway, yeah? And then, okay, you don't need to give a screen resolution. There's not 5 versions of it for 5 different screen resolutions. It is just one version available, yeah? And this one version is layouted. Yeah? That is why it fits all the screen sizes automatically. That is of course a cool thing, right? Of course, that can be done with fit to full screen, yeah? Like that. When you want to have this, I don't did it actually. That I can show you that this thing now, yeah, is really layouted. Please observe the behavior when I shrink it, not the main panel in the middle, yeah, but the other things. Yeah? The tree is getting smaller, yeah? The other objects not. You can see that. Yeah? That is layout mode. Yeah? When I enlarge, I see more from the alert table or less. The other objects stay the same size. Okay, that's layout management. Yeah? And we have done this for the tree and for that, for the menu, for those two. You can of course modify, yeah, if you want, yeah. That's normal panel topology template, and you modify at your own will, no problem. There is this dialog what we have created before. Yeah, and you see, a layouted panel inside a layouted panel topology template is maybe a cool thing. Okay, two layouted panel topology templates. And the system measurement. That are the examples what we ship, running under this thing here, modern engineering design stuff. Well, okay. Okay. I'm just looking at the time schedule, and of course we are doing a lunch break. The lunch break is planned from 12 to 1 European time zone. Shall we have some minutes coffee break or bio break before we go for the next topic? What would be the object-oriented screen references? So the object-oriented panels. Yeah? So maybe if you want to go to the toilet or fetch a cup of coffee, we continue at 11:20. Okay? 7 minutes from now. Is this okay to you?
Perfect, Marcus, thank you.
Okay, so see you in some minutes.
Okay, thank you.